Good, YouTube? Was good? The fan base. If you new, welcome. If you returning, welcome. Hit that like, that love, that thumbs up button. We are back. We are back for another fan base is love. We go over fan base, spiritual, just talking. We just had Friday evening hangout and chat yesterday. That was a great episode. Go watch that before I pull it. Thinking about pulling it. It had Michael Jamal Warner. Remember Michael Jamal Warner over there with not your everyday podcast. They did a remembrance of him. So we went over that yesterday and a couple of other things to pull that. But if you're new here, please make sure you hit that like, that love, that subscribe button. Please make sure you download Fanbase. If you're new, I am Monica Love TV, aka Queen Mo, Fanbase investor, just all around Fanbase. I rep the test, rep the set all day. Also, this channel is about doing and things my way or while having a smile. So that means that we could talk about anything from spirituality to politics to spirituality to whatever, but doing things my way without having a smile. If you are new, let's go ahead and get into the show. Today, we're not going to do too much talking because the energy been whacked. A lot of my videos been getting flagged, and I'm just tired at this point. That's why I love Fanbase, because I can post without my stuff being flagged. I can post my stuff without being restricted. You know what I'm saying? I tried to post a video today, and they're going to put it, so they actually blocked it over here. So we just go get into some stuff. And yeah. They just changed their new policies, and they changed their new policies over there on TikTok too, as far as playing music and all this other type of stuff. So if you tired of the restrictions, come over there on Fanbase. Let's go. Okay, Fanbase will be doing investment episodes from now on, investment town halls at 5, and they starting a podcast about investing. So that is new. That's breaking news. Okay, they just dropped this a couple minutes ago. Okay, let's go over investment before we go over anything else. You can invest in Fanbase. The little to invest is $3.99. Okay. Okay. Overview. Okay. This is Fanbase. Minimum invest is $3.99. Like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. And Fanbase, I am a Fanbase investor. And one of the things that I want, you know what I'm saying, and one of the things I love about Fanbase is that you can invest in your future. Invest in your kids' future. Invest and the minimum to cash out on the platform is $5. It's $5. So again, we make we make money off of loves and subscriptions. And what's cool about Fanbase, you can do anything you would do on these other social media apps. Like I said, I'm not doing too much talking. We're gonna go ahead and play investment town hall in a minute and go over that. But with the dudes of TikTok, with the dudes of all this other type of stuff, y'all clicking in here and ain't really paying attention. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm just tired of talking. I'm just at this point, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. So the different rewards tiers, okay, $6.99. Okay, these are the different rewards tiers. Okay. This all is available in my link tree. Okay. Fan-based partnership program. If you are a business or if you are an organization and you want to partner with Fanbase, Definitely check them out. Okay, let me have that. This is okay. Again, you got subscribers and followers, and you can import your TikTok and your Instagram.
Instagram or TikTok. Now, copy the gray validation link and paste it in your Instagram or TikTok bio and hit save. Now come back to Fanbase and enter your username right below where it says Move to Fanbase and then hit continue. You can migrate your profile information and your content with all your captions. Don't worry, your content will stay on Instagram and TikTok. It just copies it over to Fanbase. Now guess what day it is? It's moving day and you're coming to Fanbase. Be you without limits. Here's how to move your content from Instagram or TikTok to Fanbase. First, go to Settings and scroll down to Import Content from Instagram or TikTok. Now, copy the gray validation.
This live is to introduce people about Fanbase, social media app, and investing.
Now come back to Fanbase and enter your username right below where it says Move to Fanbase and then hit Continue. You can migrate your profile information and your content with all your captions. Don't worry, your content will stay on Instagram and TikTok. It just copies it over to Fanbase. Now guess what day it is? It's moving day and you're coming to Fanbase. Be you without limits.
For those coming in the building, this all about Fanbase. Today we're just talking about Fanbase. I was gonna speak to Spirit, but Spirit want me to focus on this right now because we talking about TikTok, all the things that's going on with TikTok, all the things that's going on with YouTube, Facebook, all these other platforms. And I want to introduce y'all to a platform. Minimum cash out is $5. I am a Fanbase ambassador and a Fanbase community leader. Okay, so and an investor. So welcome to my page, my space, and welcome.
What's up, everybody? This is Miss Queen Mo in the building. Yes, I'm in the Fanbase streets, and you know what time it is. We have movies, TV nights, game nights, also morning wellness check, Monday through Friday, Saturday movie nights at 9, women's group every Wednesday at 9. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button for your chance to win 1,000 loves. That's right, your girl is
And we streaming live on Fanbase.
Have your notifications on, because I'm definitely in the streets.
We streaming live on Fanbase right now.
Mo in the building. Yes, I'm in the Fanbase streets, and you know what time it is.
Thanks for those likes.
TV nights, game nights, also morning wellness check, Monday through Friday, Saturday movie nights at 9, women's group every Wednesday at 9. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button for your chance to win 1,000 loves. That's right, your girl is dropping them loves in that heart. And be sure to stay tuned to have your notifications on, because I'm definitely in the streets.
What else? We got movie night. You got movie night at 9 right after this broadcast over on Fanbase. Now Fanbase live stay up permanently. You can upload YouTube videos as well. These are long form videos. Sometimes if you don't see my videos, they over here. Friday evening hangout and chat is going to be over here. We have camps as well. All right. And I have plenty of subscription content. All right. I'm not doing too much talking today. These are the audio rooms. And like I said, I'm live in the audio room. Live in the audio room right now, okay? So, live in the audio room right now, okay? So, you can watch from the web. Also, audio room schedule. Uh, have my audio room Monday through Fridays, morning wellness check. Monday morning marketing meeting, definitely a great room to check out, okay? Um, like I said today, I ain't doing too much talking. Not today. I'm over it.
Bravery is not the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome it. We stand for those who defy suppression, who speak out, and those who walk the road less traveled. Everyone deserves to be seen and their voices to be heard. We're sparking a movement, growing a community of creators united by the desire for freedom, choice, equity, and ownership. At Fanbase, it's all for one and one for all. We support each other to guide, promote, and uplift you in a place where you can unapologetically be yourself. A place where your voice, ideas, and creativity are not just welcomed, but celebrated. We are Black founded, minority funded, and supported by a diverse, inclusive, powerful community that believes in the strength of authenticity and individual choice. Regardless of success or background, we welcome you, the marginalized, the underappreciated, the successful, the superstar. We're for all who seek a space to express themselves freely, where they are rewarded for being their authentic, true self. We transcend labels because only we have the right to define ourselves. We are built for the brave, the culture, the creators, and for the future where everyone has a power to shape their own destiny. Where all are empowered, voices are amplified, and freedom is embraced. For the first time, you have a chance to own the platform you helped make popular. It's a revolution. A movement in how we connect, create, and share. Everyone is a creator, and everyone has a fan base. Here, you can be you, without limits.
TikTok is going to be banned January 19th, 2025, and users are going crazy. But no worries, Isaac Hayes III has created a platform that is mind-blowing, okay? It's called Fanbase, and super simple, super easy. It's allowing consumers to not only consume content, but actually be able to get paid for creating content. See, in the past, your Facebook, your TikToks, your Snapchats, all those things, we put in a lot of work to build these platforms up, and we weren't able to really see the output when it came to the income. So what Isaac Hayes III has done, he has now created a platform where we can get paid for our fan base. They're calling it the TikTok killer. I'm excited. I created my fan base account, and the first thing that I noticed was that I was able to import all of my information from Instagram or TikTok. So all you do is put a code in your bio, the two applications talk to each other, and it imports over 2,000 videos from your previous platform. So you don't have to worry about starting from scratch. That was my biggest fear was, hey, I'm gonna have to go to this platform, I'm gonna have to start from scratch. That is something I just did not want to do. But enough of me talking about it, let's go ahead and jump into the platform. The website is going to be www.fanbase.app. And right here on the front page it says be you without limits, right? Fanbase is a free next generation social media app that allows any user to earn money from day one, okay? So I know a lot of people, you have to go out first, build it, and then you can start earning. Here you can start earning on day one. It's available on the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. Either way is fine. You're able to monetize your content on Fanbase, right? So you're able to do that long form or short form. You can do audio. Remember Clubhouse, where we're doing audio conversations? You can do that same thing here. Create exclusive content and earn money. So you can create your subscriptions, you can create that fan base, you can go ahead and build that community the way that you want to. Okay, get paid for any content, right? So it doesn't matter if it's short or long, or if it's subscription based, you're gonna get paid for everything, and you can earn and view your earnings in real time. No waiting, no big delays. You can see it in real time. Okay. Boost your subscriptions. Subscriptions have become one of the bigger things going into like 2022, 2023, where people are now creating subscription-based content, offering exclusives in your close friends or things like that. I know YouTube even has a subscription thing now. So understand that subscriptions are now a thing, and if you're not doing it and you want to grow online, I suggest that you get into the subscription-based platform, something like this, right? So what is love? It's not just a feeling, right? Love on Fanbase has a real world value of half a penny. Users can use love as a way to express their appreciation for content creators and their remarkable work. So what this looks like is you can buy packs. You can buy a pack of hearts, and let's say you go to your favorite content creator and you want to put some hearts down. You can put 10 hearts, 20 hearts, 30 hearts that you have pre-purchased to be able to show love. All right? Create without limits, right? You can do this however, whatever that looks like. Isaac Hayes has really capitalized on allowing creators to create, okay? Interact in real time. You can go live. Fanbase puts you in the heart of action. Your creativity comes to life. So you can go live. It allows you to go live. You can see everything that's happening in real time. You're able to see the hearts. You're able to see people sharing with you or buying things from you. You can go exclusive, public, or private, or you can host what's like called a campfire. So maybe something smaller. Okay? It's perfect at home for creators. At home for creators. Okay? What this means is this is a creator's playground. This is exactly what you've been thinking about, wanting, the stuff that we said before. They are doing it right now with Fanbase, guys. So you can see it right here. It's a great, great app. I love it. I would say go check it out right now. Go ahead and do it for free. You have nothing to lose. And like I told you guys before, you can go ahead and import your whole Instagram or your whole TikTok up to 2,000 posts. So you're not coming in completely brand new. Look, guys, the link to my fan base is going to be in the description below. Go ahead and follow me. I'll follow back, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Again, this is Fanbase. Tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Chosen Ones and Lit in the morning. That's it. Chosen Ones and Lit tomorrow at 9 a.m. And then tomorrow we will be watching BMF live. No restrictions. Like we can play music. We can just chill, DJ, the whole nine over here. So that's that. And then Fanbase is love. What's up, Fanbase family? Fanbase is love at 9 o'clock p.m. and it's the last Sunday of the month, so it's Cash Out Sunday. So if you download Fanbase, you might just go ahead and cash out. Subscribe to me for your chance to win 1,000 loves. Okay, that is the activity schedule for tomorrow. Like I said, I'm not doing too much talking today.
Just started June. Isaac, Andy. Done. Alright, it says no current camera. One more. Okay, there you go. Perfect. Is the cable there? Oh, it's my cable. Guys.
Yeah, I was waiting till it started. The room started. I just haven't hit play on you the watch party yet. I was gonna wait for you to get seated back on the couch. I need you there. Oh yeah.
All right. Sometimes when you have 3 streaming devices, it's ooh, I see DJ Swag, what's going on? All right. So we good? All right, we're live on Start Engine. Welcome everyone.
Live on Fanbase.
We're live on Fanbase. We're live on YouTube. We're live everywhere. I love that. Let me go ahead and so there. All right, well, let's get started. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, well, welcome everyone. It's great to be here again. We're live from the Fanbase headquarters. HQ here in Atlanta, Georgia. Today is also a special day because we're not only doing a watch party through Fanbase audio, but we also have our amazing followers and investor audience
Watch party.
Start Engine, who are joining through Start Engine Live. So I want to say welcome. My name is Rama. I'm Fanbase's CTO, and I have the pleasure of being here with Mr. Isaac Hayes III, who's Fanbase's founder and CEO. And we do this audio room / watch party every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time to share our progress with this current reggae race that we're doing in Start Engine, but also to bring you updates and give you transparency of everything that is going on in the Fanbase world, but also here for you. We want to answer any questions you might have. We are going to be doing a Q&A session at the end. So please, if you have any questions, there is no such thing as a basic or silly question. Please don't be shy. Ask away, and we'll do our best on answering all those questions at the end. With that said, Isaac, it's good seeing you.
Yes.
Let's start by first sharing again. Let's assume that no one here knows what Fanbase is about. All right. So let's give them a brief overview of what Fanbase. I want you to also tell the story of how Fanbase was born, and then we'll go into the actual race and how we got here. What do you think about that?
That works for me.
All right. Let's start with what's Fanbase.
So Fanbase is the first social economy. Social economy is convergence of monetization, community, entertainment, and social media. So it's basically taking kind of where we're headed right now in the direction of people are consuming content on their phones or devices more so than television and traditional television or even streaming apps. And so the future vision is that all of these things will be integrated into one place where people have community and are able to experience content in the way that we're experiencing it now. Through a watch party, through chats, through live. You know, it's multiple ways to engage. So people will be watching shows, but also talking about them at the same time with large groups of people and consuming content in that fashion.
And making money too.
And making money. And so I think that Fanbase was really born out of the necessity for creators to actually be able to have their choice to monetize and not what platforms give them, what opportunities platforms give them. When they decide you can monetize, how many followers you need, how much watch time, does what they pay you based on what views you get fluctuate?
something that you control and you can scale infinitely without interruption. And I think that's important because a lot of content creators struggle with trying to break through on apps because they have to post so much content. Or when you get on a roll and you start making a bunch of money, then they change how much they pay out, and then they pull your revenue down. So you can't really build a business off of something that's so unstable.
Okay, perfect. We'll be going in depth into Fanbase as a product, but tell everyone a little bit of where the idea was born, and then we'll start with our timeline and talk a little bit about how we got here.
So you want to go back to 2018?
2018.
Okay, 2018. The idea was born from two places. I think I might have shared some of this before, but one of the places that this idea was also born from was actually Twitch too. I don't know if you have we ever talked about that before?
I mean, we talked about obviously the Spidey.
No, so no, Ghetto Spider was one,
Yeah.
but something that a friend of mine had approached me and said, "Hey, I want you to make a Twitch channel."
Oh yeah.
And he came to the office, that first office that you came to, and said, "I need you to set up cameras all over this office, in the radio station, set some at home, and then you can have subscribers. The catch is you probably have to stay on stream for at least 15 hours a day." I was like, I don't have time to be on camera 15 hours a day. I said, I need to be able to post content and have subscribers and not have to sit in front of a camera all day long, right? So that I can create content, whatever it is. And at the same time, this young creator was going viral on the internet, on Instagram primarily, from dancing in a Spider-Man costume. And I just shot him a congratulatory message about, "Hey man, you're going viral." And he wanted me to manage him, and I was like, see, here's his problem again. He's going viral and has no idea what he's going to do to make money off this opportunity, because he has this enormous amount of momentum, but then where does he have a chance to monetize on his terms?
Yeah.
And that's when it hit me, like, we need an app where people can subscribe to people the way that we're currently subscribing to Netflix. By the way, if you haven't seen a Netflix documentary on Amazon, which is weird that it's on Amazon and not Netflix, you should watch it.
Okay.
It's very good.
Okay, awesome. So you could actually say that the idea was born from real creator pain points. Basically, not wanting to spend all that money and spend all that time creating content to be able to monetize that content itself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm big on. Look, I don't like authority very much. in the way that I feel like
you are a renegade.
I feel like these apps have an authoritarian control over the user base. They can shadow ban you. They can kick you off the platform. They can demonetize you. They can take away the ability for you to use live. It's just too much going on in the sense of users being able to monetize. And so I think when you create a platform that focuses on providing the best outcome for the creator first and not the platform, which is backwards from all other social media platforms. All these other platforms figure out how can they use you as the means to make money before they allow you to make money.
Exactly.
And Fanbase starts with the creator in mind first, the user in mind first, every single person. What is the best outcome for you? And then we benefit by providing the best opportunity for you to be successful, as opposed to let's build this great platform, throw in advertising, and then they give you scraps on whatever it is.
I love that. Let's do a ping pong of what do we believe makes Fanbase different from the rest, and then let's go into the race. After that, we'll talk a little bit about why we're doing the race and so on. So let's try to cover some of the things that makes Fanbase different from the rest.
Well, I think what makes Fanbase different immediately is that it is a platform that is designed with you in mind first. It's not designed for you to enter into the environment and then what they can get from you, and then figure out a way how to do that. Because some people are really earnest content creators. They have a passion for doing so, but they're stuck in places where they're like, yo, I'm trying to go viral. All these things, that this pressure that's put on you to try to become a star, when you can have those same abilities on Fanbase without suppression, because of the way that other platforms are set up. They're not designed to allow you to reach as many people as you possibly can. They're designed to allow you to reach just as many people that get you hooked on using the platform, and then they can turn that switch off. So there is no suppression, there is no limitation. We give you monetization from day one. That really sets us apart, and we're rooted in the creator mindset first, like ownership, opportunity, diversity, equity, all of those things that are words that have been kind of stripped away in these last 9 months or so, and we've always stood for that from the very beginning.
Definitely. We're gonna go back at the end of this, or in the middle of the conversation, and after we talked about the product, we'll go back at this differentiator, because I think there's a lot that we're gonna talk about that will be good to summarize to everyone why Fanbase is different. But we're in the middle of the race, right? We start engine. Let's talk a little bit about that. How much we're raising, what is the minimum, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so, well, I always say this is that we have these audio conversations as part of an ongoing effort to always keep the current investor base informed, and new investors get an opportunity to learn about the opportunity to invest.
Yep.
Right. And so typically, this doesn't often happen with a lot of startups that really provide all the transparency and opportunity to communicate what's going on. So for those that do not know and are new to this conversation, Fanbase was born from the capital raise side, from doing equity crowdfunding. It came from, that was our real opportunity to raise capital to try to scale the business. We have done 3 previous crowdfunds in the Reg CF space, which allowed us to raise a maximum of $5 million in those spaces. And we decided to go further and raise more capital because we were at a point that we were no longer a startup, but we're at a scale up. We're at a scale up phase. And so we needed to raise capital to scale up our infrastructure, scale up our personnel. In doing so, we picked a number of about $17 million that we feel that we needed to raise to take Fanbase to the next level over the next 3 to 4 years. And so we are currently at 12,745,000 on Start Engine, on the way to $17 million. And so anybody that's hearing this right now has the ability to have equity in the company, because what equity crowdfunding does is allows the general public to have opportunity and access to investments that normally would be withheld to accredited investors. So already rich people would normally have the opportunity to invest in Fanbase and not the general public. I saw it as a win-win, because we're raising capital from the user base, and who better than to give the opportunity to build the platform and scale it and own it than the people that are actually using it consistently. And so that's how we got here. And so our raise is on startengine.com/Fanbase. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. Let me explain what that means. This is not a Kickstarter campaign. This is not a GoFundMe campaign. This campaign is designed and SEC regulated that actually gives you ownership in our company, right? So you become an owner along with all the other investors, which I think at this point is over 23,000 investors.
Yep.
You join, a growing group of individuals that have believed in what we're building and in the way that we're building it, and have equity. So I encourage everybody to go to Start Engine and grab some shares.
So how much can an investor invest in Fanbase, and how many times?
You can invest as many times as you want. There is no limit. In fact, we've had users that are probably in this room right now that have invested over multiple rounds, or watching one of these lives that have invested multiple times. The minimum, I said, is $399. The maximum on a Reg A campaign, there is no limit. So the remaining, 4.3 million, 4.25 million remaining, if someone wanted to invest that, they could. So it opens up for accredited investors and non-accredited to collectively have equity in the company.
Definitely love that. So we're gonna be repeating this several times, and if you just joined, we started about 15 minutes ago. If you have any questions, please make sure you put them through the Start Engine live stream, through the Fanbase audio chat room, or YouTube stream as well. Um, there was a few comments on the live stream that I think are important, and they were mentioned as you were talking about the differentiator.
Mm-hmm.
For those that are familiar with Patreon or even TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
what's different about Fanbase? Because there were some comments saying, okay, is that like TikTok? Oh, you're talking about Patreon. Let's talk a little bit about why we're different. I think.
So if I were to take the Patreon example, Patreon is a paywall site. It's not a community. And what that means is it doesn't bring everybody that is part of that site together to consume or experience all the content that exists for free and for pay if they want to. You only see what you pay for on Patreon. And then typically, once you're there to see that one thing, there's nothing else left for you to watch. So that is the part of the platform that does not have community. On TikTok, the difference is on TikTok is that it is a platform that is heavily run off advertising, and that advertising has to suppress the user's visibility to make money. So the way that I have to explain it all the time is, if anybody that understands advertising and these companies purchase ads. So if I am Nissan, if I am Dunkin' Donuts, if I am McDonald's, I pay for my content to be seen by a certain number of people to platforms like TikTok and Instagram. And it might cost me $10,000 to reach 1 million people, right? So if it costs $10,000 to reach 1 million people, then every person with 1 million followers can in fact take that same McDonald's commercial and put that on their page and reach 1 million people and get $10,000. These platforms know that. So for that very reason, why would they let you reach 1 million people for free when they're about to charge McDonald's to reach 1 million people? So they have to suppress your content. So that means you're never reaching your full audience. In fact, you're probably reaching maybe 4 to 5% of the people that follow you consistently. And I always ask people to go look at people's TikTok pages, go look at Instagram pages of the amount of views you get versus the amount of following that you have. And typically, you could have 20 million followers, but your videos are only getting 200,000 views or 150,000 views. And that's where you're seeing the suppression, because they're not delivering that content to every single person that follows you.
Love that. Thank you. Let's go into the product, and I'm gonna jump into the product itself, because when we did our first race in 2020, one of the things that you mentioned was that the reason behind the success of the first race was that investors could actually see an actual product, right? So the product itself has been a big flagship for us throughout this crowdfunding journey. So at Fanbase, we have 6 different types of content formats, okay? So you can create through media posting images and videos up to 1 minute. Then we have what we call flicks, which is similar to TikTok, which is up to 2-minute videos. Then we have Fanbase Plus, which is our long form video content from 1 minute up to 2 hours. And then we also have stories, right? We have our live experiences, which is Fanbase Audio, where we are today, through Watch Party. And then we have Fanbase Live Stream. Not only you have everything in one place, but also you can make money out of all those type of content formats. So let's talk a little bit about the current, and I say current because we'll talk a little bit about future potential revenue streams as well. But what are the revenue streams? How does a creator with all these 6 different ways of creating content in one place make money?
So those formats give you flexibility, optionality, and scalability, right? Because typically on these platforms, there's not really ways to monetize through maybe stories or other forms of content. So taking all these media formats, putting them together, and then allowing the user to have subscribers, right? Which is really one of the key differentiators. And really, we were the first to do this, is offer subscriptions to individuals on social media platforms before Instagram, before TikTok, before even X. And what I mean by subscriptions is paid subscribers. I don't mean like a YouTube subscriber. I don't mean like a subscriber, like I'm subscribing to your newsletter. The ability for a person to pay you via Apple Pay and Google Pay the same way that you would subscribe to something like Spotify or Netflix, an in-app purchase subscription. And then tipping, which is a digital currency that you purchase, and I'll say micro tipping, right, which we call loves. And that allows you to like content for free like you normally would on an Instagram or TikTok, but also if you really appreciate what the creator does, tip that individual with one love, which equals 50 half a penny to that user, and it adds up over time, the ability to do that. And so those are the two ways that you make money. Now, including those 6 formats, we also offer the ability for you to monetize by commenting on platforms, commenting on posts, commenting in the chat room, in this audio room, even in DMs in the messages section. So there are multiple ways for you to monetize just by being a content creator in the broad sense of the word, someone that contributes to the ecosystem of social media by either commenting, posting content, having conversations in DMs. That all is part of the community that allows you to monetize.
Yeah. So I'm a user that I don't consider myself a very savvy creator. I come to Fanbase and I can actually make money through subscriptions and loves, and I can even make money by commenting on content as well. So being actively in the community as well, right?
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's a good, and that's a little different because I feel like it recognizes the person that adds something to the party. You're the guy that contributed the comment that makes the post, because really, so funny, and I'll say this too, is like, I know that is a thing on social media, because a lot of times when there's a great piece of content, the first comment will be, I ran to the comment section, because they know that's where the extra
it's content after all.
It's content itself. And so it's like sub-content underneath the content, and that still contributes to virality, engagement, stickiness. So everybody in that section is still, you're a content creator at that point. You're the person that's got the funny line that everybody cracks up with that says on that post, then you have contributed to that opportunity, and you yourself don't have the ability to make money off what the person created. So then now there's a love button for you to make money off what you contributed to the conversation.
I love that. Yeah. So let's say that I find a creator that has exclusive content. What we call exclusive content is basically content behind a paywall, right?
For subscribers.
Subscribers. And I like one piece of content. I don't want to have to subscribe to, see all the content that creator has. Does Fanbase give me a possibility of doing like that, those one-off?
Yeah, you can unlock one piece of content just to see if you're interested in what you see. But what tends to happen is that once you unlock that and you like that, you understand that if you unlock 2 or 3 posts, you basically pay the same that you would for a monthly subscription. And I think we're getting to a point right now. I think over the next, I'd say 2 years, the word subscription is not going to be, it's going to be less taboo. I don't think it's taboo now, but it's going to be more of the norm.
It can be threatening sometimes, right?
Yeah, it can be a little intimidating or just confusing, like, wait, I'm subscribing to what? But I think the content that was created maybe 8 years ago is versatile and is engaging as what's possible now, just through the fact that it's a lot cheaper for technology. People can actually really get really good cameras. I mean, all of our cell phones now shoot in 4K, 24 frames per second. Everybody can go down and get a Rode or a DJI mic and plug that in.
Yep.
We have amazing editing software now. So the ability for you to create some really dope stuff with sound effects and visual, and now add the fact that AI can contribute and enhance that creativity, I think people will really be able to make things that are quality that people want to subscribe to, even with the world of how far podcasting has come. So we kind of think that, something like HBO is something that I would subscribe for, but not necessarily Joe Budden, right? Maybe 8 years ago, but now, absolutely. In fact, people really subscribe to Joe Budden, or they really subscribe to Kai Cenat. And so that word subscription is going to start to apply. It's applicable to every single person that actually participates in social media. And that part, I think, is what's going to change, because I too can be part of that ecosystem and not feel intimidated and feel comfortable enough to create content and have subscribers.
Perfect. Let's continue the subject of the product itself. We talked about the two revenue streams that we have today. As we grow, we're looking into new revenue streams as well. The great thing, and one of the things that I love about what we do here, is that it's really all centered around the creator. So even when we think about revenue opportunities, first thing we ask ourselves is like, how would the creator make money out of this? If the creator makes money, is successful, then Fanbase is successful.
Yeah.
And just looking at that way, our life is not easy. It's very hard.
It's very hard.
It's very hard.
Very
but
hard.
It makes our life easier, or at least more fun and more genuine. Even when we build the algorithm, right?
Right.
We're not building the algorithm saying, hey, we gotta match this creator with this type of ad that we're gonna put here.
Right.
But rather, hey, how can we give the maximum visibility to these creators and make that visibility relevant, right?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, what's going to drive monetization is not only them having views, but having relevant views that are willing to support it and love their content, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that is very different from the way things are right now on social media. It's like, it's not designed to put the creator first. When you just mentioned algorithm, it is not matching. Every decision that these platforms make is off of advertising to squeeze every dollar out of the consumer that they possibly can, where we put the creator first and we want to provide them the biggest opportunity to scale and grow a business, because it's hard. I talk to creators all the time. I've seen, and it's really it's sometimes it's disheartening, but it's also inspirational at the same time. And this is what I mean. I happened to go to a content creator's birthday party last week. I went to this party, and 80% of the people attending the party all had cameras, phones, were streaming live, and just streaming like nonstop. They might have 2 people watching them, but it was inspiring because, okay, it's here. The ability, the hardware is here, but the reach isn't.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Is like, there's no reach.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you see Kai Cenat, yeah, that's Kai Cenat. But there are also things that he has to do, and even he himself doesn't get the full reach of his potential. So imagine giving everybody the ability, because then people can't pick and choose who's successful over another based off what's the best bottom line for the company when it comes to ads.
Yeah. And what's interesting too that we're seeing in Fanbase today is sometimes it doesn't take a lot of following or a lot of views for you to monetize. So the question that we always say is like, would you rather have 100,000 followers and make zero money, or have 1,000 followers and make actual real money out of the followers? Those are your real fans, right?
It's the transition from, from I guess celebrity to money. Because if we're being honest, a lot of creators that have a passion for creating content, the end goal is to become visible and famous enough and viral enough to then turn that virality into some sort of business.
Yeah.
Right? So you're churning out content to do all that kind of stuff, and then so you might make 1,000 videos, and then video 1,001 is the one that gets you there, and then even at that point, you still like Ghetto Spider, you still have to figure it out, and relatively quickly. What I say is that, and what we believe is that the goal is to create content the same way for free for people to consume, but also take that optionality for people to say, let me put these extra stuff behind a paywall. If you really want to support me, you can do that, because you have creators walking around here that are making tons of money, right? And they're not famous. And again, if you want to be famous, Fanbase allows you the opportunity to potentially become famous, especially through algorithm and reach and stuff like that. But the monetization, being able to be able to create a living and build a living off of just participating in a platform the same way you do on these other platforms, that's the part that makes it really important.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm looking at some of the questions that we're getting throughout the chat and also on Start Engine, and I love those because it's actually driving conversation. I'm trying to match them to some of the topics that we had today. So we just talked about revenue.
Yeah.
I did mention that we're gonna go beyond labs and subscriptions, which are our current revenue. We're looking into tools to take revenue outside the fan base. We're looking at continuing adding more tools within fan base to drive more lab and subscriptions. We had conversations in the roadmap about a fan base marketplace as well, allowing to give them an e-commerce tool to creators to be able to sell really anything they want. We've been looking to the importance of how the creators can also monetize on their content outside of the platform, because that has value. A lot of the platforms out there are using the content that is being created to train their own algorithms and their own AI models. Mm-hmm. What if we will give the creators the chance of making money out of that too? So there's a lot of revenue avenues that we are exploring for the near and long-term future that really will help support the social economy that we're building. So I just wanted to mention that. Mm-hmm. What I want to ask you is, I'm a creator, I came into Fanbase, or I'm someone that didn't think I was a creator, and then suddenly I have people following me, I'm making 1 cent commenting here, I'm making 10 cents over here. What is the minimum to get paid in Fanbase?
The minimum to get paid on Fanbase is $5. Okay. So anything over $5 gets paid out the first of every month. What you do on the app is create a payment profile, similar to if you were an Instacart, Lyft, or DoorDash driver, right? And you would put in that information so the money could flow through a debit card or a bank account into your account, and money flows through every month. So that's how simple that part is. And a lot of people, here's the interesting thing, a lot of people haven't made revenue accounts that have money. You might even check right now to see that you might even have money on Fanbase and didn't realize it. A lot of times people come back, some of my friends are logging to Fanbase, man, I got $20 sitting over here. I'm like, yeah, but you didn't make a revenue profile. And so that money, you need to make a revenue profile.
Well, I have a funny story about that, and that's a little bit of the power of Fanbase. Last week I was giving a training / talk, and I was with a test account, and I was sharing with everyone, and I asked everyone to follow me, and then suddenly I started getting labs here and there with my content, and I made, within that talk, I was thinking like $7, right? We're talking about, so I was so excited. I was like, okay, let me show you how you get paid. And I couldn't get paid because I was missing the profile, and right there in 20 seconds, I put my information, and I got paid right on the spot. And that's to me the aha moment, when users really realize that you can make true money. We have a lot of investors that have invested in Fanbase.
Yes.
And they actually made their money back using the platform, right?
Yeah, and that's it. And that's an amazing testament to the validation or the proof of concept. Because even proof of concept is kind of one of the first things that you have to find in building an idea. And that was like, will people do that? Yeah. And the belief is that I think the belief or the assumption is that most people won't do that. But in reality, people will. Yeah. We have, we have, if you think of all this is what I'm going to say. It's going to sound ridiculous.
Oh boy.
But listen to what I'm saying. Think about in your household right now. Everybody listening is right now. Think about everywhere in your life, around your home, all the pennies that you just let sit there, that you just never think about, that you never, because you're never thinking about spending a penny. But imagine if you take all of those collectively around the country and then give them to somebody at one time. A penny doesn't seem like much until 1 million people give you one. And then when that happens, it's like, oh, so you're seeing those micro donations add up to large amounts of revenue. So
micro-tipping.
Yeah, micro tipping. So it's like, those are the things that it's like, all right, bet. That's really what's interesting about that, is the belief that people will actually pay for content and tip you, and they will. There's actually, if you're looking, I don't know if you can see the chat inside the app, right? If you look at the chat inside the app, this is funny because I Am Bever Fly says, how do you make money on this app? And I gave her 1,000 loves. I was like that, right? And then some other people gave her some love. So she made 1,005 loves off just commenting. That's how you make money on the app. Is that fast? And I think that's enough for you probably to cash out, to actually have money deposited into your account. And again, I'm not counting anybody's pockets, but trust me, like $5 goes a long way. Like in the sense of what people need, and $10 and $20 and $30 and stuff like that, and just by making content, it helps.
So let's talk a little bit about the what's coming out with the product and how. So everyone knows, as we continue raising money and looking into closing the $17 million raise, we have access to that money, which allows us to start working on a lot of things that we believe will help us grow as a business, as a product, and as such. Because I want to answer one specific question that someone asked, and I'll ask you, Isaac. I want to talk a little bit about what are we working on from today, or what we've been working this year, really. So in January, as everyone knows, we had that one-day telenovela TikTok shutdown, right? And that was great for us because we had a lot of people coming into Fanbase. It was a learning experience because we learned a lot from that, a lot of data.
It was actually good. It was only one day. Actually, it's actually better that it was only one day.
It looked like an entire week, and it was one day. Sometimes I think about it, but after that, with all those learnings and also the race progressing significantly in January, it allowed us to not only grow our team to be able to do a lot of things, but also to really focus on what we wanted to try to build. You came into the room and you said, you know what, guys, we need to build the best platform for creators in the world, right? And as simple and as obvious as that sounded, that, stay in our minds. And we put a roadmap for the entire year where we look at really focusing on one of the biggest challenges for any social media platform out there, which is retention. Right? So with that, we looked at every layer of the product. We looked at infrastructure, architecture, user experience, and we identified those things that are really core to the experience of the user and what we need to change. And we started working that throughout this year. Like I said, we hired, a new product owner here in Atlanta. We brought a new product marketing. We grew our development team. We invested a lot on the forefront of product development, which means really defining the requirements, listening to the creators to reshape the product so the creators can use it best. And with that said, retention remains our number one focus. We're simplifying the way you're searching content and users within the platform, the way you're navigating, we're refactoring that, the way you're creating content, making it very, very simple. You always say that one of the pain points is it just takes so much time to create content, right? But we're trying to make that very, very simple. We're refactoring things such as notifications to drive engagement in a better way. So we're looking at every layer of the product, and we're making great progress. There's a lot of great things coming up very soon.
For those that have been part of the Fanbase journey for a while, I think you could tell probably between February and now, this is the quietest we've ever been.
Well, that's one of my questions that I have. Someone said, hey, we're saying that you're promoting investing in the app, but why are you not promoting the app to creators and users? And I want you to talk about it because it has to do with what I just shared, and the reasoning behind it.
I mean, well, I think, like I said, for us, the telenovela ban from TikTok gave us a lot of data, and coming away from that, saying to truly be competitive in a way that we would assume eventually would happen, maybe with TikTok somewhere down the road, that we need to prepare to have the best app for creators in the social economy worldwide. And so for us, it put our focus on, like you said, retention, but internal things, because we have a lot of amazing functionality on the platform, right? We have a lot of things that we built a lot, but there are core things that are part of what really make these platforms work. And we had to dig deeper and learn more and understand more about what really makes social media platforms tick. And so that retention, that stickiness is part of it. So we haven't had a year full of features that we've talked about.
Foundational, that's what I call it.
We haven't. This has probably been the quietest, like I said, we've ever been. And I know it's crazy for me because I would always be the first person to start to say, watch party's coming. such as is coming. Love and DMs is coming. The chat is coming. All these things. And so to know that since February, and we're closing in on August, we really haven't said much. You know what I'm saying about. But what we can talk about is the personnel that we brought on board, the foundational changes that we're doing, the additions that we're doing that make everything that we built so far come together in a way that makes a lot of sense.
Well, and that also talks about how we are as a business today. So we're growing organically, right?
Yeah.
We're not putting money into growth yet.
Yeah.
But it would be a little bit irresponsible for us to grab some of that money and try to, attract, creators at this point where we know that we have some retention things that
Not
we need
irresponsible, foolish. It'd be a waste of
Yeah,
it'd be a waste of money. And a lot of times, I read a lot, I watch a lot about startups, and those are the things that a lot of these companies, they focus on the secret sauce formula of what they're going to do that's going to make people stick, and it's not necessarily running out there and advertising a product. In fact, a lot of these other platforms, it is a lot of smoke and mirrors. The ones that have come and gone and failed, it is a lot of like, oh yeah, we're going to do this, and they have no users. The users are fake. The revenue model is not real. They're saying they pay creators. They paid out. They'll use buzzwords like, we've paid out $20 million to creators. No, not through people paying the platform, for you cutting checks to people to come to your platform and say that they use it. That's not paying creators.
Yeah.
That's paying. That's fake advertising, saying, oh, so and so made $1 million using this platform. No, you cut them a check for $1 million, and they never made any money. That's a sustainable business, and so that's not the reality of what we're building, and we don't operate that way. So we want to give true growth and true opportunity for revenue. So I love the fact that all these things coming together, and the way that the company's kind of maturing.
Exactly. I'm proud of your patience.
Yes. I'm kind of just like, yeah,
I did tell you, we're going to get slow before we get really fast.
Right.
We're at the point where we're getting really fast now with the new team. But we have a lot of questions, so I want to get through that, and we have like 17 minutes. So I have someone say, what is the difference between Fanbase and the school community?
So school community, again, is, I think those platforms are very niche to an interest of a user, right? So if I'm a beauty expert, or I'm a podcaster, or if I teach financial literacy, I can have a conversation and monetize using a platform like school. The part that I think is missing is the community element. The time that I spend not looking at content about that very niche thing that I'm into, but I still want to talk to my friends. I still want to watch videos. I still want to listen to audio. I still want to post content. So you yourself are in an ecosystem that allows you to be a contributor and a consumer, right? And so the school platform, Patreon, pretty much just only allows you to be a consumer of the content and not a contributor to that content. And Fanbase gives you the opportunity to do both.
Love that. And I'll take this one. There's a question around the algorithm. We mentioned that we are working on a new version, a new hyper robust version of the algorithm. Thanks to the progress we made on the race, we're able to build an in-house team that will allow us to get the algorithm. And the question was, this might be long, sorry if you already talked about it, but how does your platform algorithm balance monetization opportunities between new and established creators, and what specific mechanisms ensure for visibility for creators at all experience levels? And I love this question because it is true. Algorithms are not a bad thing. They are a bad thing when they're used incorrectly, right? We talked about shadow banning, but you also have the concept of how you, especially in a ecosystem like Fanbase, where we're trying to bring equity among all creators. We believe everyone's a creator, right? So one of the things that we're emphasizing on this algorithm version, among many other things that are going to make us different from the rest, is really having those breaker concepts where you find the level which in this content is super engaging, right? But also understand that there's other content that needs to be discovered out there, so you can also bring up and give that visibility. So obviously in an algorithm, you can never try to give the same visibility to absolutely everyone because there's real estate and there's limitation on that real estate. But definitely the concept, and because we are creator centric, right? That's super important. We are able to understand saying, you know what, there's this content is super great for these sets of users that are interested in that. We can cater that without the importance if they are an established creator or not, because at the end of the day, everyone's a creator. So as long as the creator, the content is great, is engaging, right? And then it's related to the interests of those that have views on them. That's what really matters to us. So the idea behind the algorithm is that balance between not only established creators and new creators, but also make sure that they're as relevant as possible to those that we recommend to, right? So as every algorithm, there is a training involved, there is improvement involved, but we're super excited. Again, just the nature of we're creator-centric that makes our life easier. There's obviously challenges around that, but hopefully I answered that question as well. We had some questions about how many paid employees does Fanbase have, and are you actively hiring? So right now we are total, we're around 42, 43. We just hired our last, for this phase, we're trying to be very responsible with the hiring as well.
Yeah.
So we just hired a local multimedia designer that is going to help us to show the Fanbase culture to the world. And I think we're not going to be hiring, hopefully, for now. But again, we never know if the race progresses. There's going to be needs. We're definitely doing, 1,000 people type work with just 40 something. But we're just trying to be responsible where we are and what we need. So.
Oh yeah. I think. What was the first part of that question? It was like, are we hiring? But what was the other?
How many we have?
Oh yeah.
Fanbase.
That's we've grown.
Well, yeah, we've grown.
We was 4 people at first, right?
Yeah. The other thing that relates to this as well, that I think is important, Isaac, and you always bring it to me. We have AI in this world. AI is not part of the future; it's part of the present, right? And not only we're thinking about ways to implement AI on the product itself. You talked about content creation and so on, but also within our organization, we're taking the time to understand all of our processes, specifically the development cycle process, and understand how AI can really make us efficient, right?
Yeah.
So as we grow, rather than just throw bodies to the solution, really try to make our process efficient and see if AI can help us automate a lot of that too. So we're working on that too, and this race is allowing us to do that. Better output, quicker output, and then obviously as we grow, not have to obviously keep having to go and hire people as well.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. Someone said, how do you balance free expression with creator safety? Where do you draw the line on what constitutes action?
Wait, say that one more time.
So I like this one. How do you balance free expression with creator safety? Where do you draw the line of what constitutes actions? Basically, how do you know when someone says or does something is enough and you need to take action and moderate?
Well, I mean, we have community guidelines.
Yep.
That clearly outline what is and isn't allowed. Freedom of speech is fine. Freedom of consequences comes with that, right? And so you have the right to say what you want to say, but collectively, on a platform, some of those things that go against our community guidelines might not be allowed on our platform. And that's not to silence anyone from speaking how they feel. It's to protect the greater environment of the community to do so. And so you will be warned. It's not like, unless it's something egregious, like I said, and something that just violates, out of the gate, you're violating your freedom of expression, violates our community guidelines to the level that, there doesn't need to be an account there. But, we'll notify people. It's not like we know, I've gotten, my own notifications.
Yeah, well, I always say that to me, moderation. You have systems that they have full automatic moderation, and that's a problem. There's no perfect moderation system. So to me, there's three core elements to have a sustainable and healthy creator community. Number one is having a great system is important, right? We actually upgraded our moderation system to an enterprise system this year, right after the TikTok ban. But also on top of that, you do have to have human intervention. So having a moderation team that makes sense of some of the decisions before the system takes place is important. And then third, the community. If you have a community and the tools for the community to really help moderate and help report responsibly, I think it's important. So those three, to me, is a great balance to have a healthy community and moderation system for creators. But hopefully we answered that question. Isaac, I want to take, because I know we're talking about a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. If anyone just joined and they're like, okay, I'm liking what I'm hearing, I want to be part of this, where can they invest?
So you can go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. This is our weekly audio town hall. We alternate between just audio and watch party. So right now, this is the watch party version where you get to see the functionality of watch party live on Fanbase and audio. So, and on the web, actually, if you're on the web and you're able to see this, you're able to watch this audio room right now live on the web. You can go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. The minimum is $399, gets you 60 shares of Fanbase stock at $665 a share. And we encourage that because this is an opportunity for people to actually own. I think ownership, I'm gonna write something about this. I haven't decided what I'm gonna write, but it's interesting. You sent me something last night about Stephen Colbert.
Yes, I want to see.
And the point that was being made about the ability for these current platforms to actually take someone like his show and take it off of their platform. And really, as bad as that is for someone like Stephen Colbert, it is really good for him too, because they're really pushing people. I think they're really underestimating or overestimating the fact that you're giving control to people. By forcing people off of legacy media in a way and bullying them off, you're opening the door for independent creators to rise on platforms like Fanbase and build their own networks that can rival yours. Yeah. So in the future, you will have an individual like Stephen Colbert that will rival the reach, the monetization, the visibility of CBS. Yeah. So you understand, you're pushing him into the space that this thing is going regardless. So taking people's shows away, trying to offer them really bad deals of ownership and content creation. I saw a good story about Joe Budden today that I think it was like maybe, I don't know how many years ago, they offered Joe Budden $40 million for ownership of his podcast, but now he's making, I think, $10 or $20 million a year. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Spotify forced him, like, it's the same way. It's like, okay, then cool. And like, you're forcing, that's why the infrastructure of this is going, it's democratized to every single person on the planet. You guys don't have the control anymore. You can't, okay, go ahead, kick them off CBS, kick them off Twitch. You're going to force them exactly where this thing is going, regardless, which is individual people creating their own networks. Yeah. And people watching that content, consuming that content, and making more money than your individual network.
Well, to me, I heard Jon Stewart say this, and that's what's powerful. And this is happening everywhere in the world. He was saying the very same reason why you're worth $8 billion was because you had content such as Stephen Colbert.
Right.
And you're just kicking that out, right? So the fact that, and that's why when I hear those things, I get excited because, when you're a platform that enables users to build their own net worth, their own value, that's unique. You gain independence. You don't depend on the platform. You can take that anywhere else. So I definitely think that ownership, and obviously we have a lot of investors that are investors. Mm-hmm. They come into Fanbase and they're also creators in Fanbase too. Mm-hmm. You control your own destiny, right? And that's the whole thing.
I mean, that's what the social economy means. It's the ability for someone like Stephen Colbert to say, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to make a Fanbase page and I'm going to do my own late night show and have people come watch it over there. and do bonus content and have subscriptions, and because it's not gonna start the way you think it is. It's not gonna be this big, I have a big $1 million set, all these things are gonna happen. It's gonna start one subscriber at a time, and then Stephen Colbert is gonna turn around and say, hey, we're making enough money now to go build our own set. We're making enough money now to kind of like build a studio. We're making enough money now to really create a production around this content that we make based off the supporters that we have, and then scale that globally without CBS, without Fox, without MSNBC. So Joy Reid could do the same thing, Don Lemon, all these journalists that are saying, okay, you're creating the rise of all of these micro, these atomized versions of networks that are going to be exactly what the social economy is all about. We're not going to be watching television, we're going to be watching each other. Yeah. And that's the thing that's interesting. And we're going to be doing it inside of large social networks.
Yeah, definitely. So just a reminder, if you join late, don't worry. We are streaming this. It's going to be available in our YouTube channel. And we're also going to be putting it up on Fanbase Plus inside Fanbase. So if you missed the first part of it, don't worry. You'll be able to catch up and ask questions in the comments as well, and we'll be more than glad to answer. All right. I'm seeing if we're missing any other questions. I do want, while I look for more questions, to share with everyone. I always like to share this stat, because we talked about the differentiators in Fanbase. Everyone's a creator. Everyone can make money from day one. But tell our audience some of the analysis we've done around how much time it takes for creators to make their first dollar in other platforms, and how we're seeing that in Fanbase, those that make money, how much time it takes them.
You know what, and I know the first half of this answers first half question, but you know what, it's like sometimes I'm gonna say that it takes the average person on social media 6 months to make their first dollar.
Wow.
On a platform. 6 months to make $1. Now, on Fanbase, I'm gonna say we're seeing creators and users make $1 in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sometimes it's literally in minutes or days.
Average 2 weeks, but we do have a lot of them that they do right away.
When people jump in, you might jump to the right audio room, like Beverfly came in today and made $5. So not only did she make her first $1, it didn't take her 6 months to make $1. She made $5 in minutes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's what I mean by there's no limitations. And at scale, imagine being the person, again, I always think about the future. There's been moments that I've had, they're kind of like, I call them proof of concept moments, where it's like, imagine, and this will be the future of this app. Imagine going live on Fanbase in the future, and you have 1 million people watching you make $1 million, right? Right there, like, you know what I'm saying? Imagine being in an audio room and someone gives you enough love. The room has 175,000 people, and collectively they want to give you $20,000 off something funny that you said. That's the social economy.
Yep.
At scale, right? Yep. We're small now, but when you take this thing and scale it up and say, okay, now we have a platform of not 10 million, 100 million users, 500 million users. Now you're like, oh, this is what it's going to be like, where people are going to be making a living just by doing the things that they already do normally. And it's going to create businesses from that, because everybody on Fanbase is a business by default. And that's what the foundation of what it is to be part of the social economy is, the first thing you need is the ability to be a business, right? And so everybody on Fanbase is a business by default, meaning I define a business, and I don't know how everybody else does, but this is my definition: the ability to earn revenue for a product or service you provide. That's what I say. So by default, every person has the ability to earn revenue because you can have subscribers and you can get love, right? And then the content you provide gives you the ability to do that. So you're all a business. Everybody right now is their own business. Now, how much effort and energy do you want to put into building that business? Do you want to tell people to come subscribe? Do you want to create content? Do you want to do those things and say, hey, I want you to come subscribe to my channel. I want you to come subscribe to my page, subscribe to my audio rooms, things like that. That's what you'll get out of it. And I think it's harder than in the beginning than most people think. But as you learn the game and you get more involved, and the more that you drive traffic to your Fanbase profile, you'll start to earn money in that fashion.
And that's not only a challenge for the creator, it's a challenge for us. Yeah. That's when we wake up every day and we say, okay, what can we do to get that creator closer to that minimum payout, to their objective, right? So we do have a responsibility into also making that, which is a pain point, which is creator burnout, right? It's so much work to to do that. How can we make it easy through everything, right? So I find that super interesting. I know we're right past 6, but I want to cover just a few things. Again, if anyone wants to invest, where can they invest? Also, can you invest multiple times? And is there a maximum that they can invest?
Yeah, so if you want to invest, you go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Create a Start Engine account. That'll be your wallet, your portfolio for where your shares in Fanbase will remain. These raises are done independent of Fanbase itself through SEC qualified platforms like Start Engine. So you will be investing in Fanbase through Start Engine, not through Fanbase, not through me in a DM saying cash app you or I can help you get into crypto. Don't pay attention to that. The only two places that you can invest in Fanbase are startengine.com/fanbase and fanbase.app/invest. Those are the only two ways that you can invest. Once you do that, you'll go through the process of a background check that everybody has to go to. Is regulatory, just to make sure you're not trying to launder money. You'll invest in the platform, get a confirmation email, and you'll be investing in Fanbase. You'll have ownership. That's the path to ownership, is really just through that process. The path to ownership is just a few steps to actually owning a part of a company that's growing. And so we tell you that you can invest as many times as you want. Shout out to the investors that have invested multiple times, that have invested in multiple rounds. We appreciate you and thanks for the belief. There's no amount that you too small that you can't invest in closing this round. Like again, we're about 4 million and change, 4.25 away from closing this round of $17 million. So if there's someone that wants to invest a large chunk of this platform, or you want to get together with 20, 30 of your friends and put in a large amount to have equity together, you can do that as well. So that all those things are welcome.
Awesome. All right. Well, if you have a question that we haven't answered yet, don't worry. This is not going to be the first or last time that we're going to do this. We're here every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. We're doing a watch party every 2 weeks. And so while we won't have a watch party next week, we'll definitely be here to answer any questions. I also recommend you to go ahead and download Fanbase and get a feeling of what Fanbase is, and also come and join all the other audio rooms that we do. On Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern time, I have my tech talk where I actually go in depth into the roadmap. What are we working on? We do some also walkthroughs of the platform. So if you want to understand how to use the app, you can come on Thursdays. And we don't talk about community. We try to build community. And that involves investors, creators, supporters, and we're proud of that. We want to continue doing that. So I share with you the Fanbase Promise. And I want to just do a recap because we actually talk about everything that makes Fanbase different. And you touch every single one of them. And I want to say thank you for that, Isaac.
Awesome.
But I want to say, so everyone is a creator on Fanbase. So we believe everyone has the ability to create, be seen, and build community, right? Monetization from day one. Isaac, you share how quickly someone can make the first dollar in Fanbase. Creator first business model. We're all about the creator. That gets us excited every day. You mentioned the first social economy platform, right? And we're going to be the best one, not only the first one. Subscription and microtransaction model, and we're going to bring more revenue streams as we grow. Community at the core. We're not just a creator economy platform. We're actually a social media and creator economy platform together, and community is a big part of that. And we believe in the community that we have. We're proud of the community that we have, and we want to grow from there as well. Multiple content formats in one ecosystem. We talked about 6 different content formats and many ways of making money. And something that we're also very proud is we're culturally rooted and inclusively built, right?
Absolutely.
You see the faces behind Fanbase?
Yes.
And the accents?
Absolutely.
And we're proud of that. We want to continue making every voice heard. No shadow banning. You talk about, how through the algorithm and everything we do, we're trying to give visibility to everyone.
100%.
And then last but not least, what we're here for, ownership to its core. We give everyone the chance of owning what they can use and what they can change, right? And that's super powerful.
And I'm gonna give a shout out to Duran who's in the chat. I don't know if you've seen this. He goes, "You guys turn this into a podcast?" I said, "You know what? This this was more of a podcast today.
It was a podcast. Sometimes,
This version today was more conversational.
It was.
I actually like this. And I was like, maybe we should do this. Keep doing it this, and then start dropping these episodes.
That's natural, yeah.
Right. It's because I mean it's what we talk about every day.
We do.
It's just catching up.
We do, yeah.
Like together, it's just catching up. Like
It's our 1v1.
It's our 1v1, exactly. It's our 1v1 in front of everybody, getting to catch up. So you just get to see us in our natural habitat, working every day, just talking about the things that we're working on and building. And I do like this conversational style. We might take this and chop it up into segments and share this stuff on social media. And so I think that's really something cool that we could do too as well.
Definitely. Let's do it. All right. Well, with that said, we want to say thank you so much for those that joined through the Start AG live stream, those that joined through YouTube, and those that are in the
This is investing. Again, invest $3.99. These will be on the playback way back. And like I said, we out. We getting ready to have movie night, cash out Sundays, plenty of activities. Fanbase Ambassador Queen Mo. Yeah, so we are out.
Bravery is not the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome it. We stand for those who defy suppression, who speak out, and those who walk the road less traveled. Everyone deserves to be seen and their voices to be heard. We're sparking a movement, growing a community of creators united by the desire for freedom, choice, equity, and ownership. At Fanbase, it's all for one and one for all. We support each other to guide, promote, and uplift you in a place where you can unapologetically be yourself. A place where your voice, ideas, and creativity are not just welcomed, but celebrated. We are Black founded, minority funded, and supported by a diverse, inclusive, powerful community that believes in the strength of authenticity and individual choice. Regardless of success or background, we welcome you. The marginalized, the underappreciated, the successful, the superstar. We're for all who seek a space to express themselves freely, where they are rewarded for being their authentic, true self. We transcend labels because only we have the right to define ourselves. We are built for the brave, the culture, the creators, and for the future where everyone has the power to shape their own destiny. Where all are empowered, voices are amplified, and freedom is embraced. For the first time, you have the chance to own the platform you helped make popular. It's a revolution. A movement in how we connect, create, and share. Everyone is a creator, and everyone has a fan base. Here, you can be you without limits.